What is up, Pats Nation? It is Patriots Global back here with another video, and on my community tab, I told you guys that there has been some rumors around that are involving our New England Patriots, and the things that are being said are some pretty serious potential roster moves. Now, this is still a very new and a very low-key type of story, but it is being said that the Patriots are one of few teams that could be interested in trading for all-pro defensive end / linebacker Jadeveon Clowney from the Houston Texans. I want to start off by saying do not get your hopes up, one, because this is nothing too big. This has not been a story that has been made into something extremely serious. And second, it's not like the Houston Texans have actually come out and said, okay, we are shopping Jadeveon Clowney. But there are three teams, including the New England Patriots, that have been said could be potential roster landing spots for Jadeveon Clowney if, say, the Texans do come out and say, hey, we're looking to trade him. And those three teams are, one, the Philadelphia Eagles, two, the New York Jets, and then three, of course, the New England Patriots. Now, it is also being said that if the Texans do come out and say, yeah, we are looking to ship off Jadeveon Clowney, that a bunch of other teams would then hop on board. This could be a type of Khalil Mack type thing. It could be that same type of situation. Now, of course, Jadeveon Clowney is not the same type of player that, say, Khalil Mack is. Khalil Mack is on his own level. But it was also very recently reported that the Green Bay Packers were actually a team that was hardcore pushing to trade for Khalil Mack at the time. So I definitely would not be surprised if they came into the mix, even though they just drafted a defensive lineman very high in the draft. But of course, one of the big questions I'm sure you guys are wondering is why the hell would they ship off an all-pro defensive player into Jadeveon Clowney? Like, that makes no sense. And the thing is, if you do not follow the NFL closely, then you wouldn't know that things are getting pretty ugly between the Texans and Clowney. And the reason that it is getting messy is because the Texans are seriously messing around with Clowney and his money. They were not able to come to a long-term deal with the former number 1 overall pick, so they decided to franchise tag him. But the problem is that the Texans decided to tag him as a linebacker and not a defensive end. And because of that, it could be costing Clowney nearly $2 million. Also, because they did tag him the wrong way, the NFL is actually looking into it, and the Texans could be getting into even more trouble. Now, if you're a Texans fan, let me tell you, this has started to become a pretty rough offseason for you, as the Patriots were about to put tampering charges on you for trying to get one of their general managers / scouting team coaches basically onto your team. But then, of course, the Patriots decided to drop those charges against the Texans, and in result, the Texans decided to drop their pursuit in that Patriot coach. But, you know, of course, at that time, that was a whole different story that about 90% of you guys already know. But if things continue to get bad between the Texans and Clowney over the next, few months, then Houston could definitely be looking to trade him, as they do not want that type of locker room issues, especially if Clowney was to start holding out. There's no reason for them to really be taking that cap and not actually have Clowney on the team. But of course, if they decide to actually put him on the trade market, then this is going to be the hottest name on the trade market once October is to come around. Now, with some articles I read, basically trying to get more information about this, basically what I heard about them relating it back to the Patriots is that the Patriots every few years are looking for that blockbuster type of trade, especially at the trade deadline. For example, the Jamie Collins trade, Jimmy Garoppolo, Aqib Talib, just to name a couple of guys that were blockbuster trades at the last minute of the deadline. Hands down, the Patriots' biggest loss on defense this offseason was just watching Trey Flowers walk off and sign with the Detroit Lions. And Bill Belichick values that defensive line higher than most positions on the entire team. And that's definitely obvious, as he has used first or second-round draft picks on defensive linemen 7 times since he took over as the head coach of the Pats. But not just that, we all know that there's a connection between the Patriots and the front office of the Houston Texans. But again, the Patriots and the Texans have kind of dealt with some stuff this offseason, especially with Jack Esterby, or whatever that guy's name is, one of the coaches that left to go with the Texans, and that whole issue that I previously mentioned in the video. So those ties between them might be significantly damaged. That might not be very important. So what do we make out of this? What do we make out of this news? How should we feel? Is it a possibility? Is it a high possibility, a low possibility? To that, I will say, guys, do not get your hopes up about this. Again, this is a small story. This is nothing that has gotten too high. And at the same time, again, the Houston Texans have not gone out and said, we are shopping Jadeveon Clowney. Now, if they say that, then you can start to look more into it. But as of now, this is something I would not think too much about. The Patriots have great depth at linebacker already, and they have enough to be able to get through with the defensive line. I mean, having Chase Winovich, Michael Bennett, Dietrich Wise, Lawrence Guy, who's very underrated, but having those guys should definitely be able to get the job done. There will definitely be issues. There'll be holes at times, but they can get it done. So they do not 100% need Jadeveon Clowney. Now, of course, I'm sure Bill Belichick would like to field it out. And if they are seriously having issues, either at linebacker or the defensive line, whether that's just them having issues technically or them having issues with staying healthy, then maybe it's something he looks to do. But at the same time, what you have to remember about Jadeveon Clowney is if the Patriots look to trade for him, he is going to want big money, and he's going to want a deal. Next offseason in 2020, the Patriots are going to have big money to be spending in free agency. Like, I seriously cannot wait to see the big moves that the Patriots will make in next free agency. But at the time, right now, the Patriots might not have enough money to be able to wiggle around a trade for Jadeveon Clowney. There is going to be teams around the NFL that I feel are going to be able to offer the Houston Texans a lot more for somebody like that than I think that the Patriots will. I think they'll just be outbid, whether that's draft picks wise or whether that's player wise. But again, nothing I feel that you should look too into. But again, at the same time, make sure this is a story you remember just in case things start to get a little bit more heated up. Either way, very interesting to hear that the Patriots could be in the mix to land him if he becomes available for trade. I will say this, no matter the depth that the Patriots have, no matter the amount of talented guys that they have, adding a guy like Jadeveon Clowney will always step things up. I mean, this is a guy that has strip-sacked Brady. This is a guy that has gotten in Brady's face several times. This is a guy that has intercepted Brady. And of course, adding a guy like him literally would make the Patriots defense the best in the league. But that is it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on this entire situation? And what do you guys want to happen? Let me know in the comments below. And also make sure you guys like and subscribe, as it helps me, the channel, and even you guys out very much. Make sure you guys share this video with everybody who knows someone. Go to the Patriots Global family. And other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.